Our entire vinegar brewing techniques includes about 3 main steps and about 50 procedures. I hope it can continue on for over 200 years. The fragrance is quite pure and rich.
This is perfect. The humidity is well controlled. There's no heat and it's at room temperature.
That's right. The smell is so good.
Today we're going to seal it in a clay tank. His name is Sun Jianling, Heng Vinegar Brewing Technique Municipal Level Representative Inheritor. He's a 12th generation owner.
Our Heng Vinegar Workshop was established in 1800, a fifth year of the Jiaqing dynasty. When it was established, it was actually a shop and sold various groceries. Until 1850, our owner was Wu Dian Bang. Back then, it was a front shop and back kitchen. This meant the front shop is a sales shop and the back is a manufacturing kitchen. They started making soy sauce there. When 1872 came around, we started producing yellow wine, vinegar, and preserved vegetables, etc. The business scale was very large back then. In 1875, our Heng Sheng company received the Guanzhenyuan business license. This plaque was issued by the Qing Dynasty Guangxu government. It was a glorious title, issued by the sales department of the Qing government. What's special about this plaque is that, look here, these three words, Guanzhenyuan, was the first Guanzhenyuan business license issued. Guanzhenyuan was a rather special business license from the government. In ancient times, salt was a very important and scarce resource. It couldn't be traded by anyone but other than the government. Our factory not only made vinegar back then, but also soy sauce, so we use a lot of salt. However, if you had this business license, the government would supply you with salt for a reasonable price. Yeah, this was the main purpose of this plaque. Look at the camera.
The Heng Sheng people were incredibly proud of being the first to receive the Guanzhenyuan's glorious title because it recognized the high quality of the company's products and brewing techniques. As one of the oldest vinegar production enterprises in Zhenjiang, the Heng Sheng Brewing Company located in Danyang, Fanxian town has continued till today with more than 200 years of history. The years of history bring the company a solid reputation and foundation.
Our entire brewing technique includes 3 main steps and about 50 processes. The 3 main steps include making the wine, fermentation, and producing the vinegar. Before making the vinegar, you have to make wine first. This is the specialty of the Zhenjiang vinegar.
There's a story from ancient times. When Du Kang invented the vinegar brewing technique, he moved his whole family to Zhenjiang, brewing and selling wine. His son, named Heita, helped his father brew the wine. After brewing the wine, Heita felt it was wasteful to throw away the distiller's grains, so he stored it in a tank. After a period of time, when he reopened the tank, an entirely new and unique wok hit him. Heita tasted it. It was sweet and sour, tasty and delicious. Then, he stored the liquid as a sauce and named it vinegar.
Our raw material is sweet rice from Jiangnan. This sweet rice we use comes from this current year, and not old rice from previous years. This is the first requirement for a raw material. After making the wine, the next step is a critical stage of vinegar fermentation. Add the wine to mash the rice grain and mix it to a solid fermentation. Add acetic acid bacteria and flip the mash layers daily. This ancient brewing technique allows the mash to follow the nature's change. Afterwards, we wait for the final product for a period of time.
We use our additional materials for fermentation. Fermentation is a critical step. It must have the acetic acid bacteria. The bacteria's strength is the most important part during the process. In addition, the fermentation must have the perfect temperature. Many masters have the saying, first check, then smell and taste. It mainly depends on the human hand to feel the vinegar mash temperature. Because a good bacterial environment requires moderate temperature. If the temperature is too high, the vinegar mash will become bad, like having an odd taste. If the temperature is too low, the bacteria won't react. The temperature during the fermentation process should be between 42 and 43 degrees Celsius. Secondly, you need to smell it, since good fermentation has a distinct fragrance. I flipped the vinegar mash from last year to this year, and it's only then that the fermentation process was well done. It has to go through all 4 seasons of a whole year. You can't stop, because the fermentation process is like the metabolism of the human body. The good parts stay while the bad parts are tossed out. You won't get the process done by only data analysis. Because it's a traditional technique, we have to use our hands to feel, our nose to smell, and our tongue to taste. This is a journey of finding the taste of vinegar. After the vinegar fermentation is completed and stored in an earthenware for a period of time, we can finally filter out the vinegar. Filtering out the vinegar means taking out the liquid from the solid vinegar base. In order to make sure the vinegar is pure and bright, a bamboo sheet is used at the bottom to filter out impurities. At this step, the worker must taste the vinegar by himself. Thoroughly examine the vinegar's color and sweet and sour flavor/ratio. Only those who have tasted have that feeling. Only those who understand will know. If you haven't tasted it, you wouldn't know. Ordinary consumers only know if it's sweet or sour and its smell. They have only tasted the flavor at the tip of their tongue, while we professionals have tasted it with the back of our tongue. Holding it in our mouth and savoring it in the back of our mouth. After tasting it, you'll have a peaceful and pure fragrant feeling. This is our handmade smooth vinegar. It's quite gentle and very satisfying.
This ginger vinegar is live. Every bottle of our vinegar has a second time. When we heritage the vinegar culture, we follow not only the tradition, but also our attitude towards life and nature. We believe vinegar is a living thing that will continue to evolve naturally. Our ancestors left us these traditional techniques. Actually lets us feel and recognize their lives. It's not only the vinegar products, but also the whole brewing process. That makes us feel actually it is the reward from nature.
This gift from nature relies on the traditional brewing techniques. Therefore, it can produce a thickly fragrant, gently sour, and subtle sweet Heng Sheng vinegar. In 1910, Heng Sheng vinegar got a golden award from Nanyang Expedition, the first expedition in China. In the middle of last century, the Heng Sheng Company changed its name to state-operate Danyang Heng Sheng Brewing Vinegar Company. The wine brewing section was incorporated to the state-owned Danyang Wine Company, and the following decades till this century began, Heng Sheng Brewing developed rapidly. Later, it was in a slow process due to various reasons.
I came in the factory when I was 16 years old. At the time, the owner was one of my relatives. I always came back here to play and look around. Later, I went to school until I graduated. After graduation, I still came here and eventually purchased this company.
Sun Jinling purchased this vinegar workshop in 2009. At that time, Heng Sheng was in the development's bottom line. The sales were really low. As an authentic Danyang Fanxian fellow, Sun Jinling grew up eating Heng Sheng vinegar. His love for the Heng Sheng brand name made him determined to make Heng Sheng a success. With determination to the traditional techniques, after Sun Jinling took over, he continued the vinegar traditional brewing techniques. No additives, keeping the vinegar natural, pure, and its clear flavor.
When I purchased this company in 2009, I actually lacked operating experience. At that time, I hired someone to manage the operation, just like other companies. It involves a normal market competition, but for a company like ours, this is not suitable. Because in our production, capital is limited. Due to this handmade brewing technique, our cost is higher than the industrialized brewing companies. It resulted in an unfavorable market position for us.
Since their competition was too strong, Sun Jinling started looking for other company development solutions.
Later, I visited Japan, and also many companies with years of history in Europe. I have a deep feeling that they have the real craftsmanship spirit. They won't pursue a large scale of production, but they will focus on the whole techniques inherited from their families. For a company, I believe it's not how big you make it. Like our small company, we just want to position it well in the market. Make sure it's being done properly and well, like the essence of something running a cultural heritage company like ours. We still keep the Asian traditional techniques. Every step to do strictly follows Sheng vinegar and standards to produce the vinegar. We didn't pursue the high technology application. We only stick to this traditional recipe.
After practicing, thinking, and studying, Sun Jinling developed the century-old brand name Heng Brewing Development recognition as making high-quality Heng vinegar. They have inherited excellent traditional skills and refined them. In 2016, Heng vinegar brewing techniques were listed on the Jiangsu Province Cultural Heritage Representatives Item list. Heng brewing technique has a very obvious specialty compared to other vinegar brewing companies. First, they follow the traditional solid layer fermentation process. It is the key technique in the Zhenjiang vinegar brewing. Secondly, the secret of time. We respect the traditions, following the natural rules, and don't make any changes. During the whole process, we don't undergo any ripening. In the liquor industry, there's an aging process where the yeast is slowly reacting. However, many people ripen the liquor. The vinegar we make is often natural fermentation through time, through nature. It goes through natural processes. During the fermentation process, we talk about some physical and chemical indicators, some flavor characteristics, its richness, including its biological diversity, and it's not comparable to other vinegar products.
Following natural fermentation, it means that the timeless cost is increasing. It also means that faced with the same difficulties as other handmade traditional industries. The old Asian workers, until we have 6 workers, and they're all over 60 years old. I have a worker who was 80 years old, who retired in 2020. We're eager to hire more young people, but to be honest, we can't really find young people to do this because our work is relatively complex and demanding. And also the pay doesn't meet the requirement of young people. So only the few people are altering techniques.
To make vinegar from winemaking to fermentation, bottling to color checking, and finalizing the product, there are 5 procedures. The 5 procedures will usually need 5 different people to do them. There are very few people who fully understand this aspect. Fermentation people only know about fermentation. The winemaking workers only know how to make wine. If any problems occur during the process, you don't know where the problem is at. I've looked at this company's entire 5 process, and I know which step has problems and I pay attention to that step. It's in this way that we make the product carefully. Sun Jinling is constantly thinking how to make more people understand Heng vinegar brewing techniques. How to make this 100 years of history brand name be revitalized.
We are currently a heritage research base for the traditional techniques. Every year, Elementary and middle school students will come by to our company and study the whole time traditional brewing techniques.
Every jar of vinegar is a gift of time. Every taste is a fragrance of time. Only those who truly love this can be patient, preserve, and concentrated so much on it. One thing I still remember clearly is when Sun Jinling talked to us, telling us making our products needs perseverance. We don't want to be heard all over the world, but we seek to be passed down for hundreds of years. This is Sun Jinling's kind of professionalism. When Sun Jinling asks you something, he won't address anything during the whole process. He allows you to make mistakes. He wants us to experiment and create the best possible. I said, if you aren't afraid of waste, then I will make the best products for you.
Of course, I wish more young people could join us and inherit the traditional vinegar brewing techniques. It won't be lost in history. The helps for this are actually quite simple. Our company has already had 200 years of history. I hope it can continue on for more than 200 years.